Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I got a 2012 Cadillac SRX. I don't even know what motor this thing has in it yet. But anyway, customer's complaint is only of a check engine light. So I got my little scanner hooked up here, my launch. So let's see what we actually have here. I just brought it up to the PCM screen where I can read fault codes and stuff like that, and clear codes if I wanted to. Let's see what it actually shows. Alright, shut that off. Sheet display. Evap system flow during non-purge. P0496. P0596. Okay, idle speed low. It's current. It's ignition cycle. That passed and failed. No history. Malfunction indicated. Mill not requested, but on this one, mill requested. That means it asked for the light, the actual check engine light. And this car's got 122,800 miles. Excuse me. Woo. I'm actually going to send a report to myself. Okay. Alright, so what does that even mean? Evap flow during non-purge. It is a vacuum sensor in the fuel system, like in the fuel tank. And what happens is there's what's called a purge solenoid on the motor. It's on the intake manifold. And what happens is you have vacuum at the intake while it's running. And what it needs to do is it'll purge, meaning the valve will open up and it'll suck fuel vapors through and burn them through the motor. It reads that and it knows it's happening because it can see the vacuum sensor that's on the fuel tank, because it'll see a certain amount of vacuum occur, and then when it commands it, it should see the vacuum disappear. So with this system flow during non-purge, it means one of a couple of things. It could mean that either the vacuum sensor is no good, because it's never building up vacuum. It could have a leak somewhere, or flow during non-purge, meaning it can actually see because of the O2 sensors. Now imagine you get raw fuel in vapor form going through the motor's getting richer. You know, the O2s are going to read it as rich. So what happens is, since it's reading it as rich, it may say, we're getting flow here and we're not supposed to. What's the most likely cause for that? Is the purge valve itself. It could be fuel tank pressure sensor, but normally when that happens, usually you get some kind of code associated with the fuel tank pressure sensor. So, and I don't have one, so that's why I'm thinking it's probably not what it is. Let's go underneath the hood of this thing and let's take a look at the actual purge valve and see if we have flow during non-purge. How do you test that? Disconnect it. If it's disconnected, it shouldn't have any flow. If it has flow, then you know it's hanging up. So let's go underneath the hood and take a look. Okay, so underneath the hood, obviously there's a 3.6 liter, and it's direct injected. And if you listen, you hear tick noise. That's the actual purge valve. It's actually working right now. The computer's commanding it. That's why you hear that clicking. So what I need to do is get back there, disconnect it, then pull the vacuum line off and see if I have vacuum with it disconnected, with the electrical part of it disconnected. So let me try to get back there and show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I took the engine cover off and give myself a little more room. I actually hooked the vacuum gauge up, and if you look, kind of hard to see, but you can see through here. I have that hose hooked up, and here's the electrical connector. Here, I disconnected it. So now the purge valve is not active. This will induce a code all on its own. But I want to see if I have any vacuum there. So let's start it up. Because I shouldn't have any vacuum now at all, with the electrical connector disconnected. And look at that. I have vacuum. All right, we're gonna get a new purge solenoid for this thing, and we're gonna put that in place and see what happens. That'll fix it. Just wanted to say that. All right, let's get that going. So I got the new one, here it is, and obviously I can't really film in there, it's just way too difficult. Here's the GM part number. So let me get this thing switched over, and once I get it switched over, we're gonna duplicate that test. Just so you get a general idea, I'm back here with a ratchet and a 10mm socket, trying to get that bolt out. The bolt usually breaks free pretty easy and comes out. But like you can see, there's really not much I can show you here. So let me get this out. So I kind of need both hands too. Now once the bolt is loose and it's still captured, you pull this thing straight back, because as you see there's an O-ring there, and then you pull it out through here. See that? So now it's basically, like I always say, reverse procedure to install. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of assembly gel on the new one, so this way it inserts easy. So there you see I have a little bit of assembly gel on the O-ring. So we're going to stick it through here and then try to get it back where it belongs, down in here. And it's kind of, I can't see anything. Oh, there it goes, went right in. All right. So now the bolt is down where you can see my fingers. So let me get that in place. Always start it by hand. Don't ever try to start it with like a tool, because you'll probably wind up cross-threading it. So let me mess with this thing and get it caught. All right, so that's secure. Put that up there and hopefully I don't forget about it. Now, let's hook the vacuum hose up. Okay, so now I should have no vacuum. And I got no vacuum, and there you see it's still hooked up. So that's good. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So the old one, this one, shouldn't be able to blow through it. So it's obviously stuck open. All right, so that's it. Just gonna assemble a couple of things here, clear the codes, and road test it, and we'll be all done. And there we go, everything's all back together. I got the vacuum hose hooked up, the electrical connection hooked up. So now, let me go hook my scanner back up. It was just doing an update, so I had to pause that. So luckily with this one, I can pause the updates, and the updates so far have all been free, which has been great. So we've had this thing for over a year now. Let me hook this up and then let's clear the codes. Okay, so all we're going to do here is clear codes. And bink, turn the check engine light off. So we're good. Not all vehicles can you clear while they're running. Most GMs you can, many Fords you can, Chrysler you cannot. Some foreign cars you can, some foreign cars you can't. It just really depends on the vehicle. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This vehicle's done. This can go back to the customer. I'm confident of the fix. I mean, you can see, you can blow right through it. And you also had a vacuum leak with the other one, and with the new one you do not. So, all right. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.